Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, Enhancing Your Customer Service with Interactive How-To Demos. My name is Guy Lashinsky. I'm Digital Content Manager at Inbenta, and I will be moderating today's presentation. So before we begin today's webinar, I just want to run through some quick logistics. Today's webinar will be conducted in English, and a recording of the broadcast will be available afterward with subtitles in Spanish, Portuguese, and French. And if you want to submit a question at any time during the webinar, please use the questions tab at the bottom of your GoToWebinar control panel. We'll be answering questions at the end of the presentation. One more thing, today's slide deck can be found in the handout section of your GoToWebinar control panel. And we'll also share the slides by email following today's presentation. And if you have any technical difficulties during today's presentation, you can just try restarting the broadcast and that'll hopefully solve it for you. So today we are very fortunate to be joined by Robin Dindyle, he's head of product at Inbenta, and Tommy Sanderson, VP Digital Adoption Manager at Hancock Whitney. We're going to be looking at Inbenta's Horizn Digital Demo and the ways that it can benefit you and your customers. And we'll also go through how Hancock Whitney used these interactive demos, not only as an enhanced self-service tool for its customers, but also as a training tool for its associates. And we'll leave the floor open for any questions from the audience at the end. So to kick things off, we have an icebreaker for the audience. Here's our first poll question. Are you currently using visual guides to communicate how your products, features, or services work? So select one of the following to let us know where you stand. We'll just give it a few seconds for people to weigh in. Okay. All right, let's have a look at those results. Okay, interesting. So some people are, some people are not, and it looks like half aren't sure. Well, this webinar is for you because visual guides are definitely central to the kind of interactive demos we'll be discussing today. So to get us started, I'm going to pass it over to Robin to explain what a digital demo is, and then we'll bring Tommy into the conversation. So, Robin.
Great. Yeah, thanks so much, Guy. Definitely interesting to see those results. Pretty even split across the different options there. Before we get too much further, it'd be great to just explain to everybody what a digital demo is, because some of you obviously answered that you weren't sure if you were using visual guides. So let's talk about that. So a digital demo is an interactive online tool that offers a step-by-step walkthrough of a digital product, service, or feature. They're configured to be easy to follow and understand. They can supplement or replace your existing digital training guides, and they can be used anywhere. And we'll go through some examples of that later on as well. They can also be leveraged to make any of your complex digital products, services, or features clear, intuitive, and easy to use. There's a wide range of applications for these digital demos. These are just some specific examples here that some of our clients use digital demos for. For example, setting up an account, changing their password, completing a transaction, reporting an issue, or anything else that your users might have questions about, whether those are your employees or your customers. With digital demos, clients can build a library of how-to guides to answer customer or employee questions with interactive tutorials. Once the library has been created, the benefits are numerous for our clients. For example, some of our clients have reported that 80% of their customers using a digital demo did not need to call a contact center after using a digital demo. Some clients have also reported up to a 45-second reduction in call time for digital inquiries when Horizn Digital Demos were used by contact center reps. As you can see, the benefits are tremendous. But that's enough for me. Why don't I let Tommy explain to you some of the benefits his organization, Hancock Whitney, has seen with the implementation of digital demos. As a reminder, Tommy is the VP Digital Adoption Manager at Hancock Whitney, where digital demos have been a long-standing part of both customer service and internal training. Tommy will talk to us about some of the challenges Hancock Whitney was facing and how Inbenta and the Horizn Digital Demos were able to help solve them. Welcome, Tommy.
Good morning.
Morning, Tommy. Why don't you walk us through the challenges that you were facing within your organization prior to the implementation of digital demos?
Yeah, absolutely, Robin. So Hancock Whitney is a bank that's based in New Orleans and Gulfport, Mississippi. It is a bank that's been around for over 100 years. Has a pretty wide base of branches across the Gulf Coast of the U.S. And so we had an older client base as well. We still do, that we're not really using our digital products, and so a lot of folks are still coming into our branches, and we wanted to see if we could change that behavior and drive more traffic to our online channel. One of the things that we found was that our associates, the folks that are working in our branches, were not really familiar with our products of what they look like for our customers, and that was due to our associates either didn't bank with the bank, or if they did bank with the bank, they didn't use the digital products because they were actually in a location all day. So they really didn't know what our client-facing products looked like. And so it's really hard to get somebody to use something that you've never used yourself, right? And so that's why we decided that we really needed to have some sort of help in creating some demos for our clients, of course, but also really for our associates, so they could more easily explain and help our clients through kind of making that jump to digital. So that was really our main driver for going with the digital demos.
No, that's great. Thanks for explaining that, Tommy. That's really great context. So why did you ultimately select Inbenta to partner with you on the digital demos, and what does that solution look like at a high level?
Yeah, so absolutely. So we looked at a number of different solutions to create these demos. We ultimately went with Inbenta and Horizn because it was the most professional solution we came across, and because they had done this before. There was a lot of expertise there. It just seemed like it was a really easy implementation as well, and they just knew what they were doing. And so we felt that from the first sales demonstration that we had, and really felt that all the way through our implementation. So it's been a really, really nice experience for us, and they've been able to provide us with some great solutions.
Awesome. That's great to hear, Tommy. Would you be able to walk us through some real life examples of the digital demos implemented by Hancock Whitney?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me share my screen here. All right. So what we're looking at here is we actually had Horizn create two portals for us. One of them is for our clients, and it is also linked to our main website. And we have a duplicate of that site, which is mainly for our associates. The only difference between those two sites is that the one that we're looking at right now is the one for our associates. It's a single sign-on solution, and the reason that we do single sign-on is so our associates can create favorites of demos that they show to clients on a regular basis. You can see that right here. And then also it allows our associates to send emails with links to these demos to our clients as well. So you can imagine we're having a conversation with a client. Maybe they don't have enough time for us to actually go through the demo with them while we're in the office. We can send them an email with that demo, which is a really, really nice thing to be able to provide. Also, you can imagine, us being a bank, we have people that come through the drive-through. Really hard to do a demo with somebody through a drive-through, but it's really easy to ask them for their email address and send them a demo through email. And so we have leveraged that, and it's been very successful for us. So you can see as we go through the site, it is branded to Hancock Whitney with our colors and logos and everything. And then as we go down, you'll see we have our demos grouped together by topics. Now, this is really, really important for us in that the topics are getting started, money movement, and security. So for an example, getting started would be a whole group of demos that we'd like to show to clients when they start a relationship with the bank. So they open a new account we like to go through the getting started demos with them. If they don't have the time to do that, what we do also is just send an email that they can send the whole topic to our clients. And so opening a new account, there's a lot of information that we give during that new account. And so we want to make sure that the part about the digital products that are available to them really need to hit home. So we send an email with the getting started topic as well. So when people get home with their new account, they can go through and see all the different ways that they can interact with the bank through digital, which is really, really nice. So going down here, we also have the specific demos, and it's separated out by online, which would be the desktop experience, and mobile. And I'll go ahead and just jump into one of these demos and show you what it actually looks like. One of the really nice ones. Yeah, go ahead.
No, Tom, I was just going to ask, I see you got a lot of wonderful demos here. How did you go about deciding what to create demos for? What was that process?
Yeah, absolutely. So it really was, we spent some time talking to our branches to find out what people were asking about. We were also looking at the types of transactions that were coming through our bank. So what were the top transactions? And we saw that, deposits were obviously a top transaction. What we also found was transfers and really just balance inquiry. And so things that should very simply be addressed by digital. We also talked to our contact center just to make sure to see what they were, what the big calls that they were getting, and their biggest call is really balance inquiry. Right. And so we wanted to make sure that we were able to provide demos that answered those questions.
Great, thank you for explaining that.
Absolutely. Well, let me go into one of our demos. I'm going to go into the Make a Deposit demo, which is one of our biggest demos, and actually one of the ones that we get the most hits on. You can see as you view the demo, we've got the page comes up, looks just like a phone, obviously, and is, really should match what is on the client's phone as well. We also have links to the Apple Store and to the Google Store to be able to download the mobile app. So if you view this, let's say on a mobile screen, you've already got those buttons there to very easily go ahead and jump in and download the app. I will say this too, it's responsive. So we really like that in the fact that clients can actually view this on their phone while they're in the branch with us as well, if they'd like to. And so it really looks exactly like it would look on their phone if they were opening the app. So you can see in each demo, there are a couple things. We're looking at the associate facing site right now. So we have these two extra buttons here where associate can favorite a demo, and they can also send that demo via email, like I talked about earlier. But when we actually get into the demo, you can see each demo has just a really short summary of exactly what they're going to learn in the demo. And each demo starts with just clicking on the start button. You'll see down here, it walks you through with a prompt that brings you through the application. So in this case, since we're making a deposit, obviously the first thing we need to do is select deposit. And so you've got a little circle down here that is pulsing to really guide you through the whole process. And then it takes you back up. We say select deposit check. We're clicking on that, select deposit account. And it is walking us through step by step of exactly what the customer experience is going to be. A lot of our clients really like this because it's a fear factor sometimes with using digital, and being able to see exactly what it's going to look like without having to have it on your phone or have or actually interact with it with your account. Being able to do that through a clickable demo has really been a really nice thing to get both our associate and our clients comfortable with our solutions. So as we continue through the process, it of course continues to let us know what's next. And then when we get to the end, we see it's successful and we hit finish, and we get a congratulations. But also what's really interesting too is that it will lead folks through related content. So you kind of think about this as looking at a a YouTube video, it always gives you related content, or hey, if you like this video, you might like this video. And so we kind of have the same system here for the clickable demos, being able to lead us to the next demo and really hopefully getting our clients involved and engaged and seeing how easy it is and wanting to learn more about what's next. And so we've really been able to put that together and bring people to the next step. What we've also been able to do is to leverage this as well in our e-learning for our associates. So as we continue to roll out new products, we're able to bring that into those e-learning courses and really get them comfortable with these products before they are faced with a client.
Oh, that's great. Thanks so much for that demo, Tommy. I know you talked a bunch about internal training for associates. Maybe you could walk us through how you did that, how you integrated that into their existing, I guess, learning journey and learning paths.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big things that we have done recently, I guess the last big product that we rolled out was Zelle. We were a little late to the market on that, but we do have that out. But a lot of our associates either had never interacted with Zelle before, or they may have used, let's say, Venmo or another service. And so they didn't really have a familiarity with what that was and how to use that. So the cool thing about these Horizn demos is that we can actually leverage them into our learning management systems. And so I'll show you what that looks like. So we used the clickable demo for Zelle of getting started with Zelle, something that we had already created. And we were able to take those and package them into a file that would be able to work with our LMS system. So in this case, you can see obviously the familiar demo, like we just looked at, works exactly the same as we just looked at it. This one has even more information about the product because it was new, and it's something that really we used to educate as well as we went through. So we had some dialog boxes that gave us the ability to do that, and then you'll see the familiar prompts that takes our associates through how to actually use Zelle and really how to find it in our mobile app, because we had we've had the mobile app around for a little bit, but adding Zelle was something new, and so we need to be able to walk people through how to find Zelle on their mobile app as well. And so once they had completed this demo, this module, we wanted to make sure that our associates really understood what they just saw, that they weren't just clicking around on the screen, and that it was really just sticking with the information that they were coming across. So we were able to get knowledge checks created. And so that is really, really useful. And so you'll look and see in this module, the knowledge check is basically exactly what we just looked at. Basically, it's a demo with the actual product screen, but we've turned the prompts off. And so we're actually kind of gamifying this. You'll see we've got 5 chances during this module for an associate to go through and click the right spaces on the app, and to be able to know, how to do these different actions. So in this case, you can see we have, it says, you can access Zelle. What's the first way? So how do you get to that? So we learned in that getting started that we start up here at the menu, and we get a little nice green check box to say, yep, that's exactly where you needed to go. And then you can go in and say, well, hey, let's close the menu to return to the accounts page. Well, okay, let's say I wasn't paying attention and I click down here. That's obviously not where I needed to click, and so I've got a nice little non-smiley face here. And so it really just takes them through to say, hey, pay attention. These are the areas that you need to go in. And you'll also notice that it also highlighted in green very quickly where the associate needed to go. So we don't make it too hard. So yep, I'm going to click on close. That's right. And I'm on to the next step on that. So that has really become our template for training our associates on how to use our digital products. We did this ahead of bank-wide program that we rolled out, where we actually trained all of our associates in our branches. So everybody that's inside that building, we wanted them all to be experts on digital. And so what we did is we sent all of our branches a supply of $5 checks. And those $5 checks were used when our associates went through actual in-person demos with our clients. And so we wanted to but before doing that, we wanted to make sure that our associates really understood how to make a mobile deposit, how to go through and navigate through the mobile app. And the only way that we felt that we could do that and feel sure that they were ready to do an actual demo with somebody in person was to take them through these e-learning courses. It was extremely successful. We did over almost 14,000 demos in over a year's time. And we focused region by region to do that, a lot of healthy competition as well, but really made our associates comfortable with talking about digital, which can sometimes be a hard thing when you're dealing with clients that come inside of a branch every day. So we've been really, really excited about how that's been able to help us get ready for the next step in digital.
That's really great, Tommy. It seems like some significant success you've had with the demos, using them in many different places, both with your customers and with your associates internally. It's really great to see all the places it's being used. I know that you worked really closely with the Inbenta team to configure many of these demos, but I also know that you used the solution to go and configure demos for your own internal uses as well. It'd be great if you could talk just a little bit about that, how you went about configuring demos on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was extremely easy. So I'll show you an example of that. We had an example of us actually doing that is we had a mobile app update come out that was a forced update. So our provider for the mobile app basically got to a point where we had to force all of our clients to download a new updated mobile app. Now, that's not a big deal for a lot of our clients that have auto update turned on for their device. So on Android and on iOS, both of those are options. But our contact center and our financial centers really didn't know how to walk our clients through how to turn on auto update. So if that was done, then it really would be a non-issue for our clients as they experience that forced update. So what we did very quickly is we created these demos on how to turn on auto update for their iPhone. So this is a demo which is really unlike any other demo that we have. It really doesn't go over our mobile app. It's actually going over information that's on their actual phone, so their iOS or their Android. So this is actually my phone. I did screenshots of my own phone, put it together, added in the prompts, and you can see, I'm walking you through how you go into your actual phone and turn on auto update on an iOS. And so obviously it's a really easy process. But if you've never done it before, obviously just like everything else, it's really nice to be able to walk through and do that on a clickable demo before you do that on your phone. Because I know a lot of people are hesitant about making any changes in settings, especially our older clients. And so it was nice to give them a prompt and really walk them through step by step how to do this. Also, with this being in our system, as our contact center received phone calls about our forced update, what they could do is they could actually send this demo to our client via email, and the contact center rep and the customer could see these demos basically at the same time. The client was opening it up on their own computer, and so it was really nice to be able to walk a client through step by step, making sure that they understood each one of those steps. And so we continue to do that as clients call in on various other issues, and we send them demos, especially in the contact center. It's been very helpful to do that, and really cuts down on the time that we spend with clients on the phone as well. Again, this was extremely easy to do. I think I did this in less than an hour. And that included, having a couple people look at it and make sure that it made sense and followed with what the different steps were. So we've really enjoyed being able to do this, and we're going to continue to expand our library of demos as time goes on.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Tommy and Robin. It sounds like this has been a real success story. I know our audience will have some questions. We will get to Q&A in a moment, but just a reminder, if you want to submit a question for Robin or Tommy, have a look at the bottom of your GoToWebinar control panel and use the question tab, send a question in, and we'll answer them in order. But before that, let's take a look at our second poll question. Are you interested in learning how Horizn Digital Demos can be used in your organization? So select one of the following. Now, the result of this poll will be anonymous, but just curious, who thinks that this could apply to your organization based on what you've heard so far? Okay. We'll give it a couple of minutes and then we'll jump to the Q&A. All right, Q&A time. Remember, if you do have a question, please add it to the Q&A panel. We have our first question here. This is a question for Tommy. I'll address it to you. What does the process and timeline look like to get a digital demo into market?
Yeah, so actually it depends on, really how you go about it. You can see that the one that I did that was very simple and straightforward was really, like I said, it was probably about an hour's worth of work for me to put that together. Depending on your process, of course, internally about the different areas that needs to go through, legal compliance, whatever else, that's very easy to give them previews of that for them to approve it. There is a built-in kind of workflow process that's in there as well that helps out with that process. So that was probably on the low end of time for it. Horizn actually created our initial demos. So I think we had 25 demos across the online and mobile space. And that was, I believe it was about a month, but it was a lot of back and forth on providing the screenshots, for me providing the information, but they filled in a lot of the gaps for that as well. So really the turnaround time is not long at all. Obviously with getting started with a project, it's a longer amount of time to do that large number of demos. But that's really the time frame. It was not, it did not take a long time. I will say that. I kind of forgotten how long it actually took for us to get all of them together. But I believe it was done within a month. But then again, we do it ourselves too. It's really up to you of how long you take to actually put that demo together.
Okay, that's great. A related question, and I know you mentioned building a demo yourself from the ground up based on a new feature that was added to the platform, but I guess a related question to the timeline is if there are changes to a process or I guess a flow in a demo, if something in the user interface or the way that a demo is being shown changes on the website or on the app, how easy is it to update the demo?
Yeah, it's really easy to do that. And to tell you also, I've been able to copy and paste a demo to get started, so I don't start from scratch. And that's another thing that's really easy to do as well. So a lot of the screens are the same as you go through, let's say, a mobile app. Like the login screen is always going to be the same. So it's even to the point where I can take that demo as a starting point and edit it and be able to have a brand new demo, in a matter of, really a matter of minutes to be able to do that. Changes are really easy as well. Going in and making that change is a very simple process. It's a kind of what you see is what you get editor on that, and really intuitive in making those changes as well. So no, it's a really straightforward process of getting that out there. And then the good thing about it is you can preview it and see what it's going to look like, see how it looks with the other demos around it, and then also go through and make sure that everything makes sense as you go through and actually use the demo as a user as well.
Okay, great. Another question we have in, and this one I'll address to Tommy first, but maybe Robin, you also want to jump in and kind of speak to the general client onboarding experience. If there's somebody new who wants to start building or having these digital demos on their site, the question is, what are some best practices in how to roll out digital demos to customers? So Tommy, maybe you can address it from your experience, and then Robin, maybe generally what we find best practices for somebody interested in applying digital demos to their particular use case.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the things that you have to understand is really what are the questions that your customers are asking. What are the questions that they're asking repeatedly? And you got to wonder, well, why are they continuing to ask the same question over and over again? And so that's really what we started, was trying to figure out what content would help our branches and help our contact center in explaining these products and understanding it. And so the other part about rolling it out was making sure that it also was linked to our website. And so when a client was looking at a product in our website that came along with a digital product as well, so they're looking at a checking account and they see all of the digital products that come along with that checking account, go ahead and exposing clients to those digital products there. And so they can see exactly what our digital products look like even before opening an account with us. And it's actually been a really nice thing for people to be able to see, so they understand exactly all the really great things that we have to offer. But also with our associates, we rolled this out internally. We had some contests as well to see how many people could do a demo, how many demos you could do yourself, really understanding how all those work. And then also the e-learning was a huge part of ours as well. And really that was required. And we required that a number of the folks that were in our branches take that e-learning so that they would be prepared to talk to clients about these products. And so it was really a combination of things to roll this out to both our associates and to our customers.
Yeah, I think to add on to all what Tommy mentioned there, I think that one of the great things about the digital demos is that they can be distributed anywhere. They can be embedded anywhere. And a lot of the advice we give to our clients are to put them where your users are, put them where your clients are, put them where your associates and employees are. So if your customers are using the chatbot on your site, embed them in the chatbot. If they're heavily using the search, make sure it shows up in the search results. Put it in the product pages, put it in the support pages, put it in your knowledge base, put it in your LMS like Tommy showed, put it in your CRM. And we have clients who are doing all of this. They're also distributing on social media. They're sharing it through emails. Tommy talked a little bit about that. So really, anywhere you're engaging with users, customers, or employees that may have questions about how to do something digitally, that's really where you should be putting your digital demos. And that just increases the overall value that our clients are getting out of the platform.
Okay, great. I think we have time for one more question. So thank you everyone again for participating. This one will go to Robin. Robin, what other kinds of businesses can digital demos be relevant to?
Well, that's a great thing. At the end of the day, digital demos are really educating users on how to do things digitally, how to use products, how to use features, how to use services. So it applies to absolutely every single industry out there, which is wonderful. And we're really excited to see all the great success we've had with Hancock Whitney and other financial institutions. But really, digital demos can be used absolutely everywhere.
All right. Okay, well, thank you for that, Robin, and thank you, Tommy. I'm afraid that's our last question. So thank you all. If you do have any follow-up questions, please feel free to reach out to your Inbenta representative. I want to thank again Robin and Tommy and everyone who attended. If you'd like to rewatch or share this webinar An on-demand recording of it and the presentation deck will be sent to everyone who attended following the broadcast. And this concludes today's broadcast. Thank you all again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Great. Thank you, Guy. Thank you, Tommy.